Good morning and afternoon, everyone. Today, our group will be presenting on the topic gamification in education, enhancing student and motivation engagement. Before we start, let us ask one simple question. How many of us like playing games? Games are enjoyable, engaging, and rewarding. Therefore, most people, especially students, like it. Game tends to inspire us to keep going, to overcome obstacles, to reach goal. We are ready to invest hours to pass stage that get point and gain reward. That leads to interesting question. What if we could use the same features that make game fun in the learning process? In recent years, education has changed a lot due to the advance in technology and increased use of digital tools in the classroom. Today, people are commonly called digital natives since they have grown up with smartphone, computer, social media, and the internet. The implies that the learning preference and expectation are different from preceding generation. Traditional teaching approach based on lecture and passive learning may not always be able to catch the attention of students or to sustain their motivation. One of the bigger problems of educators nowadays is keeping people involved in learning activity. Many students struggle to focus, participate actively in courses, and find motivation to accomplish academic activity. If students lose their association in learning, this can have a negative impact on their academic achievement and their confidence in their talents. Therefore, teachers need to use creative teaching techniques to produce a more engaging and meaningful learning experience. This is where gamification may come in. Gamification is the application of game design features and ideas in non-game environment, especially education. This means implementing familiar gaming elements such as point, badges, award, leaderboard, level challenge, and rapid feedback. Within learning exercise, the objective of gamification is not to turn education into a game, but rather to integrate game like aspect to improve student participation, motivation, and engagement. Gamification rely on their theory that success competition, recognition, incentive are natural motivator for people. Students who are given clear goals, rapid feedback, and hence to earn incentive are often more willing to actively engage in learning activity. Gamification may make learning more fun and less scary, and can inspire students to take control of their learning path. For example, many teachers use educational platforms such as Kahoot, Quiz, and Classcraft to create interactive learning experience. Instead of simple answering question on paper, students can participate in quiz, earn, compete with classmates, and receive instant feedback. This activity makes learning more engaged while still helping students achieve educational objectives. Research indicates that gamification can enhance motivation, involvement, collaboration, and academic performance, which contribute to the increased popularity of gaming in education. Gamification can help create a positive attitude to learning by providing an environment in which students feel challenged and rewarded. It also teaches kids skills such as a problem solving, teamwork, critical thinking, and tenacity. But there are problems to gamification despite its numerous benefits. Teachers need to plan activity carefully so that learning is maintained. If gamification is not done correctly, students may be more engaged in the reward than in the learning process. So it is essential to establish a balance between enjoyment and instructional value. To conclude, gamification has emerged as a valuable educational technique to address the problem of student motivation and engagement in today's classroom. By using game aspect in a learning activity, teachers can develop a more dynamic, fun, and effective learning environment. In the following section of our presentation, we will discuss the concept of gamification in greater detail, explore its benefit and challenge, and examine example of how it can be successful implemented in education setting. Thank you, and let us begin.
Greetings everyone, Shavin here. First, I would like to thank my previous group member for introducing the concept of gamification and explaining its role in modern education. Now let me start off with a question. Have you ever found yourself so engaged in a game or a challenge perhaps that you completely lost track of time, even when you know that you're supposed to be studying? Now imagine if learning felt even half as engaging as that. For my part, I will be focusing on how gamification enhances student motivation and engagement, especially through real-world applications. In a traditional classroom, it's not unusual to see students becoming passive after a while, listening but not truly engaging. But when gamification is introduced, something interesting happens. Learning becomes interactive. Instead of simply receiving information, students now take part in mission, challenges, and also problem-solving tasks. For example, imagine a revision lesson where students are divided into teams. Each correct answer earns points, and each challenge unlocks the next level of the lesson. Suddenly, even students who are usually quiet begin discussing answers, debating strategies, and even participating actively. Well, according to a research done by Hamari, Koivisto, and also Sarsa in 2014, gamification has been shown to significantly increase engagement and motivation in learning environments. So the lesson content remains the same, but the student experience completely changes. Now, one of the most powerful effects of gamification is how it creates a sense of progress. Instead of waiting for major exams to know if they are doing well, students now receive continuous feedback through points, badges, or even levels. This creates what we call small wins. And honestly, these small wins matter. Small wins matter. It tells students you are improving, keep going. And over time, this builds consistency and reduces the fear of failure. Even students who are afraid of making mistakes begin to try, because the environment feels safer and much more encouraging. This idea mentioned to me just now is supported by Carl Kapp in 2012, who explains that game-based learning encourages persistence and active engagement through meaningful feedback loops. Let's bring this closer to home. During the pandemic, as we all know, many Malaysian teachers faced the challenge of keeping students engaged in online learning. In one secondary school initiative which took place in Johor, a teacher introduced something called Mission Fridays. Instead of traditional revision worksheets, students now completed weekly challenges through online quizzes and team-based tasks. The classroom leaderboard reset every single week, giving every student a fresh opportunity to improve without pressure from past performance. Now, what was interesting was not just the scores, but the change in attitude. Students who were previously quiet started participating more actively because the whole environment felt less intimidating and more game-like. This shows that gamification is not about competition alone, it is about creating motivation through opportunity and progress. Many students struggle not because the content is impossible, but because it feels overwhelming. Gamification helps break large topics into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of thinking, I have to understand the whole chapter, students begin thinking, I just need to complete this next challenge. This shift reduces anxiety and increases confidence. It also encourages students to stay engaged for longer periods without feeling mentally overloaded. Another key benefit is teamwork. Many gamified learning activities require students to work together, solve problems, and communicate effectively. This is especially important in today's world, where collaboration is just as valuable as academic knowledge. Students learn to listen, they learn to share their ideas, and support each other in achieving shared goals. So beyond academic improvement, gamification also develops essential soft skills. Some Malaysian universities have started using digital escape room activities in teacher training programs. Instead of answering questions individually, students must solve interconnected problems to unlock each stage of the lesson. For example, trainee teachers need to analyze classroom situations and then apply educational theories and eventually make decisions collaboratively. Now, what makes this effective is that students are learning complex concepts without the feeling of pressure of a traditional exam setting. It becomes immersive and much more memorable. So, to sum it all up, gamification is not simply about making learning fun. It's about making learning more meaningful, engaging, and student-centered. It helps students become more active learners, stay motivated through small achievements, reduce fear of failure, and eventually develop collaboration skills. When designed thoughtfully, gamification transforms the classroom experience in a way that benefits both teachers and students. So I leave you with this final thought. If students can spend hours and hours mastering a game, imagine what we can achieve if learning itself becomes something they want to master. Now I would like to pass this presentation to the next speaker who will discuss the challenges of implementing gamification in education. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Lorena Saevana. My metric number is MC240126414. Now I will continue by discussing the challenges of using gamifications in education. Although gamification has many benefits, it also comes with several challenges that educators need to consider before implementing it in the classroom. The first challenge is that students may become more focused on reward than learning itself. Many gamified platforms use points, badges, leaderboard, or prizes to encourage participations. While this reward can increase motivations at the beginning, some students may only participate to earn rewards instead of understand the lessons. Once the rewards are removed, their motivations to learn may decrease. Therefore, teachers should design activities that encourage meaningful learning instead of relying on the external rewards. The second challenge is unequal access to technology. Gamifications often depends on digital devices such as smartphone, tablets, laptop, or a stable internet connections. However, not every student has access to this resource, especially for those who come from rural area or lower income families. This digital device may prevent some students from participating equally in gamified learning activities. School and education institutes should therefore ensure that every student has access to the necessary technology or provide alternative learning methods when needed. Another challenge is increased overload for teachers. Designing effective gamified lessons require careful planning, creativity, and time. Teachers need to create engaging activity, monitor students' progress, and ensure that the games align with the learning objective. In addition, some teachers may not familiar with the digital tools or such as Kahoot, Quizizz, or classcraft, which mean they may require additional training before implementing gamifications successful. The next challenge is the competitions may negatively affect some students. Features such as leaderboard can motivate high-performing students, but they may discourage students who consistently score lower than their classmates. Some students may feel embarrassed, stressed, or lose confidence when they are always ranked at the bottom. To reduce this problem, teachers can include cooperative activity such as students work together as a team instead of competing against one another. Finally, not every subject or learning objective is suitable for gamifications. Some topics require deep discussion, critical thinking, or practical skills that cannot easily be transformed into game-based activities. If gamification is used excessively or inappropriately, it may distract students from the actual learning objective instead of improving their understanding. In conclusions, while gamifications can increase students' motivations and engagement, educators should be aware of these challenges. By carefully designing learning activities, providing equal access to technology, balancing rewards with meaningful learning, and using gamifications appropriately, teachers can maximize its benefits while reducing its limitations. Thank you. That's all for my part.
Hello everyone, I'm Shakti Agustin and thank you Laura for explaining the challenges of gamification in education. Despite those challenges, many schools and educators continue to use gamification because of its positive impact on student learning. In my part, I will discuss some real-life examples of gamification in education, the future of gamification, and finally conclude our discussion. First, let's look at some popular examples of gamification in education. One of the most well-known platform is Kahoot. Kahoot is an online learning platform that allows teachers to create interactive quizzes, surveys, and learning games. During class, students answer questions using their smartphone, tablets, or computers. While competing with their classmates in real time, they earn points based on both speed and accuracy, and a leaderboard is displayed after each question. This creates a fun and exciting learning environment, encourage participating, and help students stay focused. Many teachers use Kahoot for revision because it makes reviewing lessons much more enjoyable than traditional paper-based questions. Another excellent example is Quizizz. Similar to Kahoot, Quizizz is an online quiz platform, but it allows students to complete quizzes at their own pace. Teachers can assign quizzes at homework or use them during class. Students receive instant feedback after answering each question, which help them identify their mistakes and improve their understanding immediately. Quizzes also include features such as points, badges, power-ups, and ranking that motivate students to continue learning. Because students can access quizzes from anywhere, it supports both face-to-face and online learning. The next example is Duolingo, a popular language learning application. Duolingo uses many games elements such as experience points, daily streaks, levels, achievements, and reward to encourage users to practice every day instead of making language learning feel difficult or boring. The app breaks lessons into small manageable activities. Users feel motivated to continue learning because they want to maintain their daily streaks and unlock new levels. This shows how gamification can help students build consistent learning habits while enjoying the learning process. Another interesting example is Classcraft. Unlike Kahoot or Quizizz, Classcraft turns classroom management into a real role-play games. Students create their own characters, work together in teams, and earn experience points for positive behavior. Completing assignments, participating in class discussions, and helping their classmates, they can also lose points for negative behavior such as arriving late or not completing their work. This encourages responsibility, teamwork, and positive classroom behavior, while making school activities more engaging. This example clearly shows that gamification is not just in playing games. Instead, it uses game mechanics such as reward, challenges, competitions, and achievement to make learning more meaningful, enjoyable, and effective. Now, let's discuss the future of gamification in education. As technology continues to develop, gamification is expected to become even more advanced. One important development is the integrative of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence can analyze each student's learning process and provide personalized activities based on their strengths and weaknesses. This means every student can receive learning experience that match their own ability and learning pace. Another exciting development is the use of virtual reality. Virtual reality allows students to enter immersive virtual environment where they can experience learning in a completely new way. For example, instead of only reading about the solar system, students can explore the planet virtually. Similarly, history students can visit ancient civilization without leaving the classroom. This experience makes learning more realistic and memorable. In addition, augmented reality is become increasingly popular in education. Augmented reality combines digital content with the real world using smartphones or tablets. For example, students can scan a science textbook and see the three-dimensional model of the human heart or the solar system. This interaction learning experience helps students understand complex concepts more easily. Another future trend is the development of adaptation gaming-based learning system. This system automatically adjusts the level of difficulty according to each student performance. If a student is struggling, the system provides easily questions and additional supports. If a student performs well, it presents more challenging tasks to help them continue improving. This personalized approach helps every student learn more effectively. Overall, the future of gamification is very promising. With technologies such as artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and augmented reality become more accessible, classrooms are likely to become even more interactive, engaging, and student-centered. Finally, I would like to conclude our discussion. Gamification has become an important teaching strategy in modern education because it increases student motivation, engagement, participation, and collaboration. By incorporating elements such as points, badges, rewards, leaderboards, and challenges into learning activities, educators can create enjoyable and meaningful learning experience. Although there are some challenges such as technology dependence, disruptions, and unequal access to digital devices. These challenges can be managed through proper planning and effective teaching strategies. When used appropriately, the benefit of gamification outweighs its limitation. In conclusion, gamification is transforming education by making learning more interactive, enjoyable, and engaging. As educational technology continues to evolve, gamification is expected to become an essential part of future classrooms and long-life learning. It not only helps students achieve better academic outcomes but also develop important skills such as collaborations, problem solving, communication, and critical thinking. Thank you for your attention. That concludes our presentations. We hope this discussion has given you a better understanding of how gamification can encourage student motivation and engagement in education. Thank you and have a great day.